Welcome to the SpellCast.
After you turn, just gently send Bernard Barabbas on his way back home for him to report to his barbarian teacher and therefore go into further training in the pit, quote unquote. You are standing in front of the converted tinker shop that has become the half tinker shop, half campaign office that is Silvertooth Tinkers and Silvertooth Campaign headquarters.
People are in and doing stuff?
Yes, people are in and doing stuff, working on general weird-looking engineering marvels or engineering monstrosities.
Whatever the hell it is.
And filing papers and doing sorts of campaign things.
Okay.
Reviewing polls, etc.
So, just walk up to anyone and go, "Hey, where's the little man?"
They point to the very center desk, which is straddling this very clear demarcation between a dirty, oily floor and a very clean, well, not clean, paper-strewn floor.
So you can't see the floor.
You can't see the floor, yes, but you can see the desk sitting in the middle, straddling this blueprints on one side, mock-ups for not t-shirts, mock-ups for tunics. And buttons on the other.
Did we talk to Jadinkle at the party?
Yes.
And tell him about what happened at the office?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, actually, you won't see him at the desk. They point to a back room. If that's the case. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh, okay. So I thank whoever it was and go to the back room.
The door is shut.
Shaving a haircut.
You hear on the other side of the door, "Yes, what business do you have?"
Yeah, hi, it's Ron. And,
The door immediately opens up on the and you can see Wayland standing there. You can see a little goblin standing at one podium. He is, wearing on a rope and a wooden sign around his neck with like a paper a top hat formed out of paper and it's painted to look gold. On the wooden sign is painted the words damp nut.
Okay.
And at another podium you see Jadinkle Silvertooth in his standard 3-piece suit and top hat.
Okay. I hope I'm not interrupting anything too serious.
We are merely re-strategizing the debate. Oh no, you're not missing anything. You're doing fine. Come on in, Rod. Come on in. Maybe you can help us out with what sort of things they might have learned to sort of try and get an underhanded upper hand, as it were.
Right. What have you got so far?
Well, I think I'm good. With answers concerning, redistributing my answers concerning, economical affairs and, and like business prospects. I got this great idea to start an airborne travel hub here in Baldur's Gate. Airborne travel. Yeah, balloons. If you fill a balloon with hot air, it floats, right? Yeah, and it can go places if you make it go places with like the wind and things, and that's kind of slow. But if you put like say something that makes it go faster right behind the ship, right? Something, explosions make things go faster, right? So if you put like a controlled explosion behind the ship, with or without the balloon, it can make it go places in enough timely fashion to where people will pay for it to get to one city to another quicker than they would if they would just take a boat or a little balloon ship or traveling on a horse. And I think it's the future.
Hold on. Without a balloon?
We are working on the sort of dynamic aerospace technological innovations that will make this possible.
Because that just sounds like a cannon.
Shit, Waylon, how else am I gonna weight this? That I would recommend using the original, and he gives you a pointed look, Ront. The original wording as I have described to you, because that is less liable on customers and citizenry.
Okay, just so we're on the same page, that's what we're doing, and it's not some other kind of proprietary thing that you're just not explaining well.
Yes.
Indeed. Okay, since now I know that's where the research is headed, I can see what else, what other options that aren't maybe so risk conforming might be possible. But I was more asking about what you believe the he's not the incumbent, the Wet Pickles platform is going to be, like what his talking points are and what his rebuttals to your platform might be.
You see Jadenko writing down and mouthing the words "wet pickles" on like a notepad at its little podium. Wet pickles, that's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. That's pretty hilarious. I fucking hate that. And he says, "Yeah, I mean, well, it's been kind of hard. They've been pretty cagey about, my agents are everywhere trying to get away to him, but for some reason it just seems like everywhere we turn we've been turned away or we just haven't been getting the right answers and we don't know what to do."
So just nothing.
Yeah.
Not even what the people on the street seem to think that he stands for or anything like that.
We keep hearing different things that they think he stands for. Like, it's kind of like they've been hearing different things. Then it's like they've been fed really catered messages and really catered platforms that they care about instead of like an overall platform that he really stands for.
Did you talk to his right-hand person?
I did, but I was leading into that.
I figured that's where you were going. I was just letting you get there. Letting the wind fill your sails or the explosion push your whatever it is.
Skybox, because that's all it is. He didn't mention wings.
I know he hasn't mentioned wings yet.
So it's just like turning a cannon towards the ground and hoping it goes
to space or somewhere today.
But
yeah.
So I did actually get to talk to somebody and got something that sounds like answers.
Oh, do tell, because anything is better than the shit we've been hearing.
Taltana's a real piece of work. Did you know that?
Yeah, she's pretty tall. Even for a goblin to comment on how tall someone is, she's pretty tall.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we sat down and supposedly I was supposed to talk to the small man himself, but I honestly couldn't get that far.
What happened?
We had a I can't call it a long talk, but we had a very insightful talk about the kinds of campaign promises that Mr. Waterlogged Wimbledon.
Waterlogged Wimbledon. I'll take it. Wimbledon is... Wow, that is an innuendo. You're racketing balls. Okay.
Wow. That he was making to foreign interests.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
His plan, and this just got my jimmies real bad, which is why I couldn't stick around to talk to the actual guy. His plan is to take the guild system into government, to essentially, I don't even have words for it, like commandeer the guild system as it is, because it currently exists as a private entity for private individuals to do the fucking thing and like do good works here and there, and they want to incorporate the manpower and firepower of guilds into the city's economy by hiring it out to foreign agents.
That actually makes a lot of sense why she would push this on him, probably. It was her idea, I would bet. You know she's Menzo Baranzan royalty, right?
Knew it. Rob knows what that means, right?
Yes, he does. Menzo Baranzan is the city of the Drow in the Underdark. It is the capital city of the Drow in the Underdark.
She's a princess or something.
Or probably, maybe, not saying it's true, a queen or a head of some matriarch of some house.
No, I did not know that, he says with, like, the most manic smile he can manage.
Yeah, no, my agents, he says as he taps one side of his goblin nose, have been keeping tabs on old Salty Peanuts over there.
Okay.
Salty peanuts in an RC Cola.
Salty Peanuts in an RC Cola flavored with Cheeto dust.
Okay. How long have we known about her saltiness?
Well, her salinity, generally speaking, has been surveilled. Haha! I used a big word there, Waylon. Yes.
Alliteration, yeah.
Got that.
Has been surveilled for since the beginning of her employment. And I will say, many loyal agents were very dignified casualties in undergoing the.
Excuse me.
It's okay. You'll bless you. Undergoing the reconnaissance, the reconnoitering, as it were, in the Underdark to understand that the Drow have employed a similar system in order to, with their general houses and groups of slavers, as it were, because they are prevalent in that industry, and have utilized this sort of grouping up underneath the umbrella of a governmental organization is to better make it more profitable.
Okay. So, I take it we've known about her origins and affiliations for something on the order of months at the very least?
Yeah, I just had to remember to make Jadenko more shrill, because that's how he is.
Point of order.
Yeah!
No. Point of order.
Order points. You got one.
Was it Wayland who told me to definitely go talk to the lady and them?
I'm pretty sure it was him.
Yep.
I'm gonna give Wayland a very pointed look.
You learned a lot, didn't you?
I did!
And you're sharing what you learned with us, aren't you?
Do you Do you always find that you continue your business relationships after entering into partnerships without fully disclosing to your partners the risks?
I always find that someone who goes after something they perceive that they want does so full tilt if they know not what it is they might be up against, or, let us say, have the utmost confidence in themselves.
Is he throwing shade right now?
Yes! Yeah, he's throwing shade.
Because this is not a case of I wanted. I had to be convinced to talk to this lady.
Yes, and you were. Not with her beauty notwithstanding.
Can we cut to someone else?
And we jump to roll 1d4. 1 to 2 is going to be Conall and the kids. 3 to 4 is going to be Hal and the church.
3.
All right, 3 to 4. Hal,
Motherfucker.
you stand across the street, looking at the Church of Tyr, and the bells are ringing, tolling in for the morning service. You can see filing in normal clothes, not Eyes of Tyr garb and bullshit, and sometimes fine clothes, depending on their class. Sometimes even through a different door. The prospective onlookers of the service and attendees. You can see a representative of Tyr wielding scales in one hand, and an aspergillum. In case you don't know what an aspergillum is, it's essentially a tool that has holy water in it. It's basically like a baby rattle, but you shake it and like holy water fillings out. It's like a salt shaker, but whereas the salt is holy water and the meat is the sinner who is coming to be in the church. Yes, exactly. So
a little bit of seasoning, you know?
A little bit, exactly. And the aspergillum is in the shape of a mace. So it's kind of symbolic of Tyr as well, the hammer, right? So they're just kind of like baptizing kind of each person as they come in with a little holy water, sort of blessing them. But they are dressed in standard robes. They're not dressed in anything remotely close to the radical organization that you see.
And what would be the proper way to address them? Like father, mother, brother, sister?
Tyr, being a god of justice. Let's use the word guardian.
Guardian?
I think that works.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and that I don't care if that's canon or not. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Changes from week to week.
Changes from week to week. Yes, let's do it.
Thiathel here also, or were you not going to church?
No, I'm coming.
Okay.
She's coming to church.
Well, shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
You
Go ahead and walk up.
You
Just
get in
line.
Yep. You get in line. Are you disguised or anything?
No. I am straight up coming as.
Oh, you are. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You get in line. The person in front of you has like a ruff around his neck. You know, the William Shakespeare collar looking deal, Elizabethan collar.
Can I tell anything from their dress or their jewelry, their manner, what their station is?
Oh, noble.
Noble? Okay.
Yeah, or at least patriarch, at least some sort of high level merchant or something. Their pants are like their pants are so thick it makes their thighs look like pumpkins. You know, like the big pantaloons, not necessarily MC Hammer pants, but the similar nature. They are very Puritan. With here's a good image. You know Ratcliffe from Pocahontas, the movie Pocahontas.
Yes.
The purple outfit. There you go, except more skinny. More skinny.
Are we talking like landed nobility or new money nobility?
We're gonna say new money nobility.
You can tell.
I mean, by the way they dress, probably.
Probably depends on what fads they follow.
It depends on how the fads work.
It would depend on if there are like strict rules about like certain nobility can only wear these kinds of colors or.
Oh, you're talking about like very Roman style, sort of like only the emperor can wear purple, sort of
more like medieval, like.
Oh, I see.
This particular, like yellow is only for the the upper class, that kind of thing.
I don't think
how
that.
free is the fashion quarter?
Right. The fashion quarter is free. I would say you can tell old money from new money by how new the clothes look, but how old the style is.
I see.
And as opposed to how new the style is and how new the clothes are.
Okay.
So there you go. So old style, new clothes would definitely be the old money, and new style, new clothes, which is what this is, would definitely be the new money.
Wait, so the old dudes don't get new clothes?
They do get new clothes, but in the old style.
And if they're old style, old clothes,
Then they're probably bankrupt. old, not money.
How's this guy reacting?
Wait, how are you dressed?
Yes.
So
The real question.
so Hal's family,
Uh-huh.
like his father was landed nobility, right?
Okay.
But that came through his adventures.
Yes,
so
that's right.
probably.
On the order of new money?
Yeah, on the order of new money, but I imagine they probably have more like older style proclivities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
His adventuring outfit was not unlike that of a Landsknecht.
A what?
A German Landsknecht.
A what?
So, Landsknechts are interesting in sort of military mercenary history because they almost dressed with the eclecticism of harlequins.
That is actually perfect because that's kind of what I was imagining.
Yeah.
Something kind of black and yellow with kind of diamond patterned.
Yeah.
Like that. So with the blades kind of sticking out, sort of. The pattern kind of made to follow his blade pattern, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe like a half cape or something, going over the back of one shoulder. Maybe
This one's not a Cape of Mending, is it?
no.
God damn it.
But also would likewise have metal spots for the blades to go through, and probably also like a rough, but like a smaller one, not like ostentatious, but a little bit more.
Cool.
So how's this guy reacting?
He has a cane of the perfect height, so where his hand rests right at his hip. So the cane was tailor-made for him. He didn't just pick it up. Rolling it around in the palm of his hand, and then you can notice as soon as you walk up, there is a sort of cedarwood smell coming from him. He's wearing some sort of cologne of some nature, and
Very tasteful.
Yeah. Roll me insight.
Oh Jesus! That would be an 18.
Oh.
In the midst of those odors that you're sniffing, something familiar hits your nose, and it's slightly musky, but also slightly, it's weird. It's a mix of musk and clean scent. And it was weird and noticeable because you remembered smelling this while you were performing alchemical tests on the goop.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's obviously has a morning face routine, and it involves evil goop, which is great. Not all morning face routines involve evil goop.
Au contraire.
So, can I? Am I at this distance from him, and am I able to speak to Thiathel outside of
You are 1 foot behind him.
Okay.
Yep. At this point, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of look to Thiathel, glance over to her, give a wink, like hopefully at a moment when he's not looking, and then.
Is there something in your eye?
No, actually, but I was wondering, have you picked up any more of that wonderful beauty product from the Wide? Because I've run out.
Oh.
You mean yes, the wonderful facial look. You see him turn around and he looks at you and he's powdered his face so heavily, so you cannot even tell that all the blood has rushed away from his face.
Why, yes, that's exactly the one I was thinking of. I I understand that it's very, very, very good.
He's very less obvious. He very obviously cuts in front of the person in front of him, just without saying a fucking word. Turns around and just does that, and the person's like, "Hey, I didn't mean."
So
hey, what are you doing?
Then I'll turn back to Thiathel, and so that he can still hear me. Like, although I have heard rumors about side effects.
Yes. Not good ones.
You can't see his face anymore. He's in front of the person who's given up arguing with the noble, the obvious noble. You see his fingers sort of grip the handle of the cane very tightly, and you can even hear the sound of the wood sort of giving. Yes.
I understand. I'd heard somewhere that with prolonged use, it might even produce a scaly texture. Is that? Have you heard that?
He sees it. You see it drill into the sand, into the cobbles, and you hear the scraping. And then he walks purposefully forward to the guardian who is wielding the scales and doing the aspergillum, and sends him on his way.
Okay. All right. Just wait until we get up there. How does the priest respond?
The guardian, the guardian whose eyes are downcast. He begins the aspergillum down at the feet, and then he slowly you see him slowly stop shaking it, and then he stops shaking and looks you in the face.
I'll bow in deference and and thank you, Brigham.
He says nothing. You see him take the aspergillum aside and kind of like take it up to his ear and shake it a little bit, see if he check how much holy water is in it, and then he sort of unscrews it a little bit and pours a fair amount on top of your head and screws it back on to the top.
I don't think that's necessary, but I do appreciate the additional consideration.
I'm just taking precautions.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'll walk in.
He walks in, and he's still watching Halexan, you notice, Thiathel, as he sort of douses you with holy water, and he, in his lack of paying attention, he shakes it into your eyes a few times.
I scream.
Sorry.
Is everything all right?
Yeah. She's just extra blessed.
Oh.
Got holy water on my dress. Do you know how old this dress is? It's older than you.
Well, now it's old and holy.
It's older than your grandfather.
He sort of shirks away and just continues blessing the other people as they enter.
My eye.
They're actually quite friendly here.
Speak for yourself. I don't know why I sounded like what's her face from Frasier.
I don't fucking care. It's great. It's fucking perfect.
Whatever her name is.
Not Diane. Moon. Daphne. Daphne Moon.
Oh, Mr. Cred. Dr. Cred.
Are there any?
I've had a vision. Oh my god.
Playing Daphne Moon.
I'm changing my character sheet.
Okay.
Her name is Daphne now, and she's stupid.
Fucking Christ.
Is that what the
And she's
name
from
translates to in
Manchester.
her name translates to Daphne and Cobb.
Yes.
Yes.
Daphne and Tom.
So are there
What
any?
was Thiathel's last name?
Dalanadrin. Daphne.
I remember the last name. I can never remember the first name.
Yeah.
Are there any pews or anywhere that we can sit? Or are they all filled up?
No, they are not all filled up. There are definitely some open seats in the back. There's a lot of people in the front. You find that churches where people are eager to seem more holy will fill up front to back, and it sort of
I will try to get as forward as I can. With that in mind.
I stumble into the first pew, holding my eyes.
I do not see this, so but you're not going to get to wherever I go. I'm like,
You see her in the back. She is. Do you mind me crafting this? She has taken a hymnal and has sort of ripped out a page and is now drawing.
I'm gonna wave to her, give her a thumbs up and then sit down.
Squinting. bro.
Enjoy the service.
Waving the hymnal page, the Bible page.
Oh my god.
I wonder what a hymnal to Tyr would sound like, a war chant or something.
Oh my fucking Christ. It probably...
Yeah.
King, Samabim, Sambabim, Hibura, Himami, Hiba, I'm speaking, Skyrim.
I sent you something that's actually relevant.
Oh my
on
fucking
Twitter.
Christ. Wait a minute, I'm gonna take a second to look at this.
Yeah, give it time.
I'm sorry, Gerald. I know we're gonna get to you soon.
Oh, you're good. Take your time.
Yes, so you find a pew about 4 rows from the front. It's not bad. You're a little early. I think the service doesn't start for another 15 minutes. It gives time for those who wish to mingle before the service. And those 15 minutes pass relatively easily.
I assume nobody wants to mingle with me.
No one wants to mingle with you. And the people who aren't mingling with you who might want to mingle with you on any other occasion are not mingling with you because there are those inside of the church who definitely don't want to mingle with you for the specific prejudice reason. And they are too insecure to break that and feel out of place.
So I'm going to test their the boundaries of their religious affectation.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever's sitting next to me, I'll attempt to make small talk with them. Asking them if they know what the service will be about today. If they know the particular preacher, and if they know his style, if they like his sermons, that kind of thing.
The answers you get are that his style is... The person you're speaking to, one, did not expect you to speak to them. They reply nicely. They talk about how the preacher is very fiery and very full of righteous purpose, believes that the preacher really has the gift, really gets you fired up for Tyr. And at the end she says, and it will be really good for you.
Well, I look quite forward to it. He sounds like a wonderful preacher. And, this looks like a lovely congregation.
Bless your heart.
Oh, bless your heart. She ends it with.
Which goes right over Hell's Head.
Right over how, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So the sermon begins. And parting curtains from the holiest of holies are these two, I wouldn't call them altar boys, I would call them more altar men.
Okay.
Just two, I guess, not deacons really, but more like they are part of the clergy, and they are parting the curtains and out steps in robes that signify he is of more importance. This shorter figure is a dwarf with red hair that is tied in by hair bracelets and brackets at multiple points, all of which you can see from even where you're sitting. They look, the metal is made of some magically pure white metal inlaid with gold, and they're bracketed, and on each of them is interspersed on one bracelet is the hammer, on another bracelet is the scales, on another bracelet is an eye, on another bracelet is the hammer, on another bracelet is scales, etc. So follows all the way down his makeshift, I guess, dreadlocks, I guess I would say. And so too is his beard, except his beard is threaded through this large metal, as if cut out of gold, the symbol of Tyr. It is like an outline of a hammer, scales, and an eye, right? And it's braided through this. So it's as if his whole beard is a necklace. It's
interesting.
It's a very interesting
cool.
sort of beard ornament that he's wearing. You can see these long golden links that are drafted over his shoulders, as opposed to a clothy sort of mantle that he wears. Those are made of gold, and at the end you can see 2 bowls for scales, right? He walks out wielding a mace, right? And in the other hand, it is a golden sphere, a censer of sorts, that is engraved to look like an eyeball. So he walks out, he sets the eyeball in the hands of one of the assistants, and the mace on a pillow, well, they're on pillows, I should say, on the pillow held by one of the assistants, and the mace on another pillow held by the other assistants. And he walks up to a podium and he opens this large tome. And this is the doctrine of Tyr. You have what your father had one of these in his house, and it was rather large and lengthy, and you may or may not have read all of it. That's not for me to decide.
I've probably read part of it, but since I don't think I have the religion skill, I probably, like I would have read it as a young child, probably, it was read to me, and then I would read a little bit, and then just, stopped when I stopped really being interested in religion.
Fair.
So,
Does anybody at all within our assorted associates have religion?
don't think so.
We're a bunch of heathens.
Yeah! We are.
Do I?
I don't know.
I don't think I do.
Religion is one of those, unless you're in a setting that is high religion, high gods and stuff, no one ever takes it.
Right. Unless it's of great importance and the investigations you're dealing with have
Or
to
if
be
you're
through.
committed to the RP, but who is?
Yeah. I don't even think Roland has religion. And he's a fucking paladin. Yeah.
No.
Most of what Hal knows about the religion probably would have come through just family services, because he never really went to church.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the household would have had a chapel or something.
Yeah.
Maybe not. If I recall, I don't think his father was extremely religious, but his mother would probably have been the more religious one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No, that's fair. That's fair. He greets the congregation. Make me an insight check.
nope. 2.
Thiathel makes me an insight check.
Am I rolling at disadvantage because I'm fucking blind?
If you so wish, yes, you may roll twice and take the lower.
Was that 9?
That's 9.
Uh-huh.
Roll lower.
Oh god.
You did. You rolled a 7.
Yep.
That's fine. You can take inspiration for imposing disadvantage on yourself.
Wait, is that a fucking thing?
No.
Yay.
No, it is, but good role play. Good role play.
Kind of, it is, actually.
Did I spend my inspiration? Why do I have inspiration?
I don't know.
It's actually burning my eyes.
Fair enough.
Quite heavily.
Oh, I
It's not
remember
curious
why.
because of what. There's some toxic heavy
It
metals.
was some
in
moment in the
You
talk
fucking-
with Fontana.
He filled it up in the back.
We're gonna get hepatitis. My eye. I'm gonna have a septic eye. Start speaking Irish.
Don't forget those phrases and words you just said. Don't forget them.
Excuse me? Excuse me, what?
Septic eye sewers.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm the pretty one, okay? Why do things happen?
If you were a paladin, you'd have immunity to disease by now.
I'm an elf.
Where were we?
You
Yes.
don't even have to take religion.
So
I have elf care.
that's fair. You don't have to. Done. You're covered.
I'm covered for the next 200 years.
You're good. Until you're age 200. No, until you're age 270. That's how.
Alright, for the next... How old am I?
60 something years.
Yes.
50
Is that on your parents' plan?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Sucks.
so Theodon's on the same plan, so it's all good. Anywho, where was it?
I'm sorry, Theodon.
My twin.
Theodon, her twin.
Oh.
So we had an insight check that we both blew.
You both blew. Yes.
Can't fucking see.
He has surveilled the entire congregation and has met the eyes of everyone, including you, and seems to carry on as if just it's a normal day. He talks about the various plights and things attacking the holy people of Baldur's Gate and of followers of Tyr around the world, and how a great darkness is approaching upon them, and they are the last bastions of righteousness that must take a stand against these things. There are people, he talks of those who wish to take away religious freedoms and religious rights, and how we must stand peacefully against that, and even if it comes to it, we must take a stand for what we believe in, even for our very own lives, because that's what Tyr would stand for: justice in the face of tyranny, in the face of evil, in the face of the very devils which assault us in these days and times. And we must stand solidarity in unity to become one, to become like brothers and sisters of one great family, and that the scales will be beautiful when they are weighed in our favor, that the scales will be beautiful when we wear them with pride. So throw on your tabards and open up your hymnals to page 396, and we will sing Our Tyr is an awesome Tyr he is. Hallelujah.
I'm going to have a wonderful time doing this.
And there's a song, and there's an organ player, and there's music. And cut to Conall.
My God.
Thank Tyr, you mean.
Thank a God.
Thank a God. Yes. And currently, you are in the middle of your pre-workout yoga session with the kids. They have laid out these straw mats, and they are going through these various complicated poses and things that you have imposed upon them, and that is just me making up a place to start from. You may take it, or you may say what you're doing from the very beginning. I don't care.
Because you always gotta be limber when you're doing this stuff.
Are you still disguised as Ront?
Yes.
As Ront? There is one smart cookie who is in the back who's
Do we know that one, or just...
You don't know that one.
Okay.
Who has caught on to your bullshit, but is going along with it for the sake of not getting a bad grade.
do I realize this?
Yes,
So, like,
because at a bathroom break, he came up with a little piece of parchment, and you unfolded it, and it said, "I know." I know.
Did it have a hand?
Okay, hold on. It's like, after class, you just kind of take them aside, and like everyone leaves, and you just like slam them against the floor. Where's my father? Where's my father?
Holy shit. You've already marked in your grade book that has extra points.
Carl has a grade book? You have a grade book?
Oh yeah.
He does now.
He does now.
Ront doesn't have a grade book.
Well, too. Oh, then there you
That's
go.
how he caught on.
How he caught on. Ront never takes
It's like, wait a fucking
second.
I figured historian. Yes.
She just
Opens up his notebook.
those thunderstones at us. What's this guy doing?
We usually just play Thunderball.
Oh.
No one gets hurt.
No, it does get hurt. That's true. Unless they get knocked off a 10-foot ledge or something.
I mean, you're playing indoors.
Does it start at 10 feet?
10 feet. It does. It starts at 10 feet. So technically, you cannot get hurt if you fall from 9.9 feet.
One, that. Two, if you get thunderstoned into a wall, it also doesn't hurt.
Yes. Fair.
It's like that one old vine of a kid just like running inside.
Remember that part? Into the lockers.
Oh God.
Remember the locker vines where they would like kick off one side of the lockers and like slide on the floor and travel down the hallway? Fucking crazy.
So Conall's stretching with kids.
I'm stretching with kids. I know every time, like, I'm doing like a different pose, and I'm trying to make it more and more complex, and then I'm like slowly like looking over at that kid with like a smile, like looking to see if he's gonna do it or not.
He puts up one tiny little fucking middle finger. One tiny ass.
How old is the kid?
Probably 11.
I'm also mad that like I would not have. The kid would have just behaved if I was actually there.
Yeah, maybe.
We did not know about this kid. We learned something good.
He was probably like dreamed of being an artificer, and this was his one fucking chance. And he is such high intelligence that he can see through your bullshit, and he is so disappointed and angry that you are not who you say you are.
He sounds like a wonderful protege.
Can
It's Ront.
we have an honors program in Super Happy Fun Time?
Why not? Fucking A. The world is what you make it.
Or I tell you what, like when he came up to me, right, and he gave me the paper that said I know, I was like, well, how'd you know? And he told me how I knew, and that he was a big fan. And I was like, all right, well, if you keep this a secret, I'll introduce you.
Mm-hmm. He's still mad as hell.
But he's going along with it. That's why he's going along with it. Because he wants to meet Ron.
That's a good
Doesn't
one.
quite know if he can trust you.
No. Give him something. Give him like for the next leg of class. Give him like let him lead, or like give him something to be in on besides the fact that he's salty about the fact that you're not making it.
Excellent.
It's
So
like, all right,
chaos.
misbehave. I'm really good with this bow.
Fucking love it. So, what else do you do with
Can
this
he
class?
fire the bow?
I can.
Can the kid?
Like, is the weapon specific to me?
Do you let him try to fire your bow?
For this next one, I'm gonna need a volunteer.
Yes.
More information. More data.
Everly puts up hand.
No, while he's like thinking of flipping me off, I'll be like, you there in the back.
He just lifts it up higher.
Yes, you with the finger.
Yes, you with the hand raising.
Come up to the front.
He comes up to the front.
Yes.
What the fuck do you want me to do? What the fuck do you want? This is an adventuring class, right? Sure. Well, you need to learn how to fire a bow at something, right? Oh my god. Fine. Here, let's see what you got.
He tries to pick up the bow. His hand passes right through it.
I'm just staring at the bow. And I just hold it over him.
What is the class doing?
The class is like the class is, he holds out his hands, he looks up at you expectantly but also knows that you're full of bullshit. He holds out his hands. What do you do?
Drop the bow.
The bow passes through his hands as if it was ethereal.
I pick it up. Which brings me to my next point, class. You never know what's gonna happen in adventuring.
I fucking can't.
You gotta be prepared for everything.
See, with his hands outstretched, he pulls back 3 of them and just flips you off. And he just fucking angrily steam rising from
Does
the
he
top
have a
of his
name?
head. Reginald.
Is he a fire ganassi?
Yeah, fuck it.
Reggie.
Reggie.
The fire ganassi.
Literal Steve.
Literal steam.
Thank you for your help, Reggie. You were excellent.
Pair of wrought iron glasses. Excellent.
I don't know. Do you guys have any questions?
One little pigtailed girl raises her hand. She has like a wooden shield and a wooden sword and like a little tabard with like a butterfly on it.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
She raises her hand.
It's very soft.
Yes, you there.
If you could give us a number, how many, I always wanted to know, how many people, die on an adventure that you're on averages?
Well, that's a hard question to answer. Mortality is a very,
No, this
touchy
is
subject.
no. He's stalling. Can Conall count?
Yes, but he's not going to.
I have a question.
Yes, you.
If a beholder blinks, which eye would it blink with first?
What's a beholder? I whisper to like the guy in the
Reginald
next to me.
The Reginald.
don't know. Ront, why don't you tell them what a beholder is?
Because I don't know.
Then I guess you're just some shit creeping out of paddle.
11.
He's a literal South Park force. Oh shit! Oh my god!
Well, that depends on the type of personality the beholder has. And behold, there is your answer. Any other questions?
Yeah. I got a question about.
I cast silence.
He keeps talking, and everyone's like, I can't hear. Like all the kids like can't hear him, and then he finishes his question and he stares at you.
After they stare at me for a while, I take, I start concentrating, and I'm just like, all right, good.
But you didn't answer the question.
You didn't ask a question.
Like, do they literally rip your scalp off, or do they like put a straw in there and suck it out?
Did anybody else hear a question?
All the other kids. Like,
Why are you gaslighting children?
Wait, why is this child so much older than the rest of them?
It was held back.
Oh. Fucking Kaneki over here.
He had a hard time.
Why are you gaslighting the Charlie Sheen of this breakfast club?
We definitely found the next generation of the helmet cloak right here. Holy shit.
It's a magnet guild.
It's a magnet guild.
I call over Reggie.
Reggie.
And then I huddle him in a corner. I'm like, listen, I know you don't like me, kid, but now what? What do I do? What do you guys want to learn about?
Look, a lot of the kids. I'll be honest, a lot of the kids like combat training.
Oh, that's
but I'm not a big fan. No,
it's great. Okay. And I shoot it in the air. It makes a loud thunderous blast.
All the kids cry and like hold their hands to their
I
ears.
swear to God, the city
And
watch is gonna show up. You
And
idiots.
like one of the parents burst in the door and see like some of the kids. One of
You're
them
holding a bow.
You're holding a bow. One of the kids is like trying to like find bits of cloth to like stuff in their ears because they're bleeding from their fucking ears. Mom.
Shatter.
And the parent is like, my God, and they run over to you and like, okay, everyone, please thank Mr. Havenfair for
You motherfucker!
I was teaching them to expect.
Yeah, well that's great. Well, I think the time is up. We need to get them to lunch in the infirmary. Let's go. Well, everyone wave by, and all like 3 kids wave by, and Reggie is like holding both of his ears and still flipping you off at the same time.
I'm like pointing at Reggie, and I'm like, I got you. I got
You motherfucker, you look like me, you assholes.
You gave him the paperclip.
You did.
What did you expect? The rock. You gave him the rock.
Right, guys,
I didn't expect him to injure all the kids.
It's nothing a good berry can't help.
Did he give no?
As they're escorting me out, right? I look back and I'm like, remember, kids, you're in a constant state of being had.
The most important lesson of all.
Excellent.